Personal branding in a state agency. Today, I'm joined by Lee Pendleton, who was the former boss of the 9-branch estate agency and letting agency network that just recently sold in 2024 to Chesterton's. And now he is a guru. I know you don't like that word, but I'm calling you that, helping estate and letting agents grow their businesses for exits. Lee, personal brand, company brand, where is the sweet spot? Talk to me.
In America, they have a very different outlook. In Australia as well, they kind of are getting it right with the brand within a brand. The UK, I think, is still struggling, where if you go and work for an agency, you are a brand within a brand. So what you do within that business and outside of it reflects everything on yourself and the business. So what I'm saying to that is, if you want more business as an agent, you have to live and breathe it and be passionate about it, and don't be scared to talk about it. A lot of people want to say, well, this is my private life and this is my business life, and they do not cross, and I want to keep them very separate. Okay, fine, well, don't be in this industry, because that's not how it works. This industry thrives off you being in the pub or being in a restaurant, having a chat, saying, oh, this is what I do. Everyone has an interest in property at some point.
Well, you go to a wedding and everyone's, as soon as you say an estate agent, well, what's the market
They're
doing?
either they love you or hate you. They certainly do. That's fine. But you can convert the haters absolutely by giving them real, true sound advice, or pointing them in the right direction of getting sound advice, speaking to a good lawyer, good conveyancer. So, but again, it comes back to, do you really love this business enough to be promoting it? So if you start your own business, let's say in fashion, you wouldn't go to a dinner party and go, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that business because I want to keep it very separate. You would shout it from the rooftops. But that's the same, even if you're an employee within a business, you should be uber proud of what you do and what you say, if you love it and if you give the right advice. If you're, a salesman or too much of a salesman, or, you think you're giving the wrong advice, then you're in the wrong industry.
Why do you think estate agents are afraid to cross the streams?
Maybe because they want to keep their private life private for some reason unbeknown to them, So again, if you look on people's personal Instagram feeds, then they put things on there they shouldn't probably be putting on there for the public eye to see. So they probably don't want them to cross over, as it were. But you can have a different account. Of course you can. There's many different things. Yeah. But again, they're not going all in. That's the truth of it, Chris.
Because I find it fascinating, is that one of my jobs on the stat show each week is I pick a town and then I look at the top 10 estate agents' websites just to see how they perform, to see if it matches how they've performed with their sales and lettings and market share. And the number of agents that don't even have a meet the team section. We're in a people business, but I can't see the people. What about bosses worried that if they let their valuers loose and create a personal brand, they're going to leave or they'll become the brand?
It's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen, of course. Unless even if you gave them shares or whatever, or give them options or whatever, people are still going to go. You can't ever hold somebody back. You've just got to do the best that you've got your time with them. Plus, have a backup ready for that situation in the future anyway. So if you plan and have a strategy for that, that's fine. But again, you've got to get the best out of that time that you have that person.
So what you're saying is that bosses should allow their valuers and eggs to create a personal brand within the umbrella of their own brand, and be aware that they could go, but they're going to go anyway. So enjoy their time with them. What about people who say, well, I can't control what they say online, it might ruin my brand?
Can't do that anyway. You can't control when they walk out that door anyway, what they
say. They're spending an hour in someone's living room, so what a post is irrelevant.
You can't control if they got into road rage and swore at somebody. Again, you're a brand within a brand. They could say, oh, I know you, then you dent the brand.
Especially if you've got a company car with all the logos on the side.
Obviously, I've got stories that are not for this programme about company cars and what people did with them, which is a shocker. But you see it from the corporate a lot, Chris. You see them. You see the whole journey. They can't
even post. They can't even like or comment.
No, they get the corporate. That happens with the corporate. They go to work for the corporate. They meet all the corporate clients. They give them, and then off they go with the corporate clients. It's the journey of the business. You've got, as an owner of running a business, you've got to accept that. And if you then shelter them within that situation, you're not getting the best out of them. and they were going to leave anyway. So couldn't it be a different way to look at it? So if we give them a bit of freedom, a bit of reign, a bit of time to build their business, subject to them wanting to do it. That's the caveat. It really comes down to, do they want to do that? You can't force someone to do it and say, right, go and set that up yourself. They've got to want to do that. I never had the situation where people came to me and said, right, we had it a lot of the times over the years where people say, I want a pay rise. I go, okay, well, what for? Well, everything's costing me more money. Well, as for us, I always got a standard that someone wouldn't come and say, I'm going to do this year or the next 2 quarters. I'm going to show you I'm going to do this, and then I'd like to get that. I never heard it in the time I was in agency. Maybe people were scared about that. I was always of the opinion, I'll show you first, and then I'll ask. Not I'll ask, and then I might prove to you what I'm going to do. But again, it comes down to individuals.
Thank you for your time today, Lee.
Very welcome. Thanks, Chris.